Alright, we are back for game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Hellerine versus Andrey, the deciding game on Fighting Spirit. Basically the most played and possibly most balanced map nowadays, so a good staging ground for this final battle.
And it's going to be good stuff. I still feel like these, again, I say this a lot, but I still feel like these players have got more. I think Hellerine will be kicking himself after the way that went. But I think it'll be, yeah, I think he'll be feeling pretty down about what happened right there. But thank God for Dre that he won that, because after you trash talk in a game, there's no way you can lose. It just can't happen. It's too stupid.
Especially on a casted game. So it's not just like you being embarrassed because the other guy, saw it, but with like 2,000 people watching you trash talk and lose. Oh, terrible.
Unimaginable horror.
All right, so I think we can just go into the game now. Game number 3, Hellerine versus Andrey. Alright, here we go into game number 3 on Fighting Spirit. At the top right as the yellow Protoss we have Hellerine. At the top left as the brown Terran we have Jimbag, aka Andrey.
Yes, we do indeed, and Hellerine is about to make some excuses for his play, which is, of course, standard procedure. You play badly, you make a horrible mess up, make the excuse in the next game, and chalk it off, just so you know that everybody knows that you're better than that, you just didn't play very well.
Yeah, dude, I mean, seriously, any good Brood War player should have like a list of excuses prepared for when they lose.
Yeah.
Just know them offhand, right? So, you got lag, map, I'm drunk, I just woke up.
Yeah.
My dog ate my Ethernet cable.
It's important though. Once you've made an excuse, like stick to it no matter what, and get angry, defend that excuse regardless. You have to stick to it, otherwise you'll end up looking even sillier. So even if it ends with you in a huge massive rage and you're just shouting at everybody, stick to the excuse, otherwise it just ends up looking worse. So that's the best advice I can give anyone who's maybe a little bit new to StarCraft, doesn't know how excuses work. Just make sure you stick to your guns. Never change the excuse halfway through. Never give up. That's the wisdom I can impart to you today.
That was very insightful, Elegant. I'm sure our newbie players have learned a lot. In the meantime, by the way, we have a wall in here from Andrey. I wonder if he's actually going to siege fast expand again, which would be quite interesting, since again that's something that's kind of fallen out of fashion nowadays. That's right, there are fashionable builds to do, and this is not one of them. This is like one of those weird 70s things that just nobody does anymore.
Yeah. 70s. I mean, Brood War's old, but
Well, I mean, in Brood War terms, that's about how old this is, right? No one's done siege expands for like a couple of years.
Yeah,
maybe not a couple of years.
It's funny though, because I still think of siege expands as kind of really standard. Although you're right, you don't see them much. But yeah, you're right.
What is this probe doing? That hidden DT tech, maybe?
Yes. But it could still be. There's no point in that being a robo. That would be utterly stupid, because it's exactly the same as if he was making it up in the far corner of his own base. I can't believe I even thought that for just a second right there. Yeah, it's got to be his DT tech, otherwise it makes no sense. I'm going to lay down that gauntlet right there.
Dude, I hope he makes a robo now just because. It is DT tech.
God. Woo! Yeah, if it wasn't, it would be ridiculous.
By the way, Andrey's pulled guys off gas, which makes it look like an FD, but that's kind of curious, because going for a wall-in and FDing at the same time kind of doesn't make that much sense. I mean, obviously walling in isn't bad, but the thing is, when you go for FD, you're going to make a lot of Marines anyway, so you don't actually need to wall in to protect yourself. When you go for a siege expand, you don't want to make more than 1 or 2 Marines, so you need this wall to protect yourself against like Zealot attacks. But when you go FD, it's not a big deal, so you might as well save the minerals that you lose, the mining time that you would lose from actually making the wall. And, excuse me, yep, there's the command center now, built a little bit far back from the wall, just so a probe poking up here, as it just did, doesn't actually see it. If you build it too close to the wall, or you kind of build it over here, the probe actually will get vision of it.
Yeah. I don't know that this is going to work so well. I mean, the scout is going to be very, very deceptive for Dre. He's going to get in there, he's going to see the cybernetics core spinning, which is of course a fake. For anyone who doesn't know, the research that's currently being upgraded in the cybernetics core is air weapons, not Dragoon range. Dragoon range would be the standard for this point of the game, but air weapons is cheaper, so it allows you to get your tech that a little bit earlier and still have a fake upgrade spinning by the time the opponent's SCV gets into your base. You then flush the SCV out and cancel it to get all your resources back and continue along your chosen tech path. So, given that, I think this may lead Dre to be a bit gung-ho with his expanding and might give Hellerine an in. Although the second SCV, no, the second Marine, the first Marine I should say, is going to sneak around and looks like it might actually make its way into the Protestant's main base, and this could be really, really bad for Hellerine. He's going to see the first DT pop out, I think, as well.
But the thing is, he can't actually see it, so unless the DT attacks him or he sees the glimmer, he still won't know what's coming. But the thing is, you have to be like actually paying attention and really looking for it. And the thing is, so far, I don't think he sees anything out of the ordinary. So there's no reason to suspect the DT's there. And oh, he got killed. The DT killed it. Did he notice that? All right, what's he building? He's got the engineering bay. He needs to build a turret, one turret at the ramp. Yes, he builds one turret here, builds one turret here, and he's absolutely fine. This turret will cover the low ground, so he can leapfrog them and gain detection. So he should be absolutely fine here against the DT attack.
Yeah, he should be really okay unless he makes some super massive mistake. You're lucky you got that wall. That's an interesting way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is you made a wall, as is quite standard, and so I'm probably dead. Which would be a logical conclusion. So Hellerine kind of, again with the excuses, but it's good he's got an excuse ready for every opportunity, so that's alright. He's going to be able to delay CC for just a little bit. Oh, Mr. SCV is kind of freaking out on top of the tank there. He's going to be able to delay the CC from landing until the SCVs can get down there and kind of leapfrog missile turrets forward, but it's only going to be a matter of time right now. And yeah, making expansion of his own and just trying to kind of keep in the economic game, if nothing else.
Yep, so this DT is still being quite annoying. It's not in vision of the top turret, so it's blocking the command center from landing. Oh, runs into vision though, so now he can actually land this. It looks like he's not trying. I know some goons are actually going to wander in here trying to delay this. I don't think that's going to work out.
I don't like this.
Just come down here. Wow, is that actually really in range?
I don't like this.
God.
Oh no, this is a really bad move from Hellerine. He's going to probably lose all of these Dragoons because all Dre needs to do is leapfrog one tank forward, and then he's going to have full range on these goons, all of which are going to go down. I'm not quite sure what he thinks is going to happen here. He does have 2 more DTs coming forward. I guess he's just trying to snipe off the comsat station, but there's of course another one in Dre's main. He might be able to get rid of this tank though, but even so, this definitely wasn't worth it. All 3 Dragoons go down.
Oh, 2 more DTs though. 2 more DTs are coming in. There is a comsat now though. He can scan it.
Which he will do.
Scan! Scan!
He needs to scan! He's not using up his scan! He needs to use his scan!
What?
No, don't send the second DT in. Okay, so he does use up one of his scans. Why did he not use that scan? He just must have not been paying attention to it at all. That's really crazy. So those 3 goons are complete kind of waste, I think, in my opinion. Although they did manage to delay the comsat, but it looks like a missile turret might establish itself here. No, not quite going to get out. The vultures are now being produced, and the Spider-Man research is not too far from done, and it is a very fast research. The second comsat attempt, third I should say, is going to actually come to fruition, and as such you'll be able to throw down a scan and does some rather nasty splash damage to his own comsat station, but nonetheless. The third DT laying down his life, and maybe a fourth one as well.
There, I think. Oh no, he doesn't. Never mind. JK. Oh, did he just attack his own comsat?
Yeah, he attacks his own comsat station. It looks like a missile turret might just be able to get up. I'm surprised he didn't have a hit at the SUV instead, just to prevent that missile turret from being completed so quickly. But now Dre looks like he's going to be ready to push.
Wait, dude, Kratos? Oh, no, never mind. He's got 2 Dragoons. I was going to say, does he have no units on the ground? But he has 2 Dragoons, which is essentially no units.
Yeah, if Dre decides to move out with all his SCVs, he probably wins at this point. But with 5 siege tanks and 3 vultures, I think this is going to look very, very bad for Hellerine. He is producing extra gateways as quickly as he possibly can. He's going to have 5 gateways up very soon, so he's going to be able to pump dragoons quite fast, quite soon, but I don't think it's going to be soon enough. There is a big push heading its way towards him, and that is actually looking quite scary from Dre after producing off only 2 factories for a sustained period of time.
Yeah, I can't believe he sacrificed so many Dark Templars there. Usually what you do is if your first couple of DTs don't manage to actually get through, you just save the rest of them and you kind of leave them at various points along the way. So when the Terran tries to push out like this, he has to waste scans to move across the map. So by the time he gets to your base, he has no scans left, and then you can just make a DT and survive. But in this case, because he wasted all those DTs now, he has nothing to actually deal with this attack. So I think he might just lose right here. I mean, you know, a few Dragoons is really not going to cut it against this many tanks in good positions right now. So this is looking actually... you know, kind of similar to game number 1 with that early push, except that this time the Protoss is in a much worse position.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anyone you could put in this position and for this game to still be a win for the Protoss player. He's just going to be beset by these Terran forces, and there's no real way he's going to be able to break out, at least not cost efficiently, and probably not even at all. He is starting to produce zealots now. Does he have the zealot leg speed upgrade on the way? He doesn't. Does he have a shuttle? No, he doesn't have that either. So these are going to be slow zealots, slowly trundling their way towards the enemy forces. If he ever had a window of opportunity, it's now. He's going to go for it. Will he get some decent mine drags off? He will get one nice mine drag, and he does make some headway, but loses all his zealots for the price of 1 tank. Whilst he does make a dent in the oncoming Terran forces, it's not going to be good enough, and the vultures are moving their way closer and closer, as are the siege tanks. I think Hellerine is in a spot of bother right here. He's going to have to try and keep pushing because there's nothing else for him to do. Cost efficiency is out to the window at this point, and his zealot leg speed upgrade does finish. Oh, of course, because it's just Alvadoon's way over the other side of the map, so I didn't see it. Okay, good, that would explain that. But yeah, still in a nasty, nasty position.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, and now he's having to pull all his probes from the natural, so he's back down to mining off 1 base. He's got 6 gateways, but he can't really afford to produce off of them anymore. He's basically got no money right now. So, yeah, looks like he just spammed a few units on all of his gateways. But once that round of production is over, that's going to be it. He's going to have to go for 1 giant attack and hope that that breaks out. Kind of like in game 1, except that this time he doesn't have like a 3rd base mining. You know, he's not going to have a ton of gateways backing it up. And the Terran is in a much better position. So yeah, it's looking very much like Andrey will come back from that 1-game deficit to win this series. Although here we go, here's the breakout attempt. He's not bringing all his units, he's bringing some probes. Is that a transfer or is he actually going to use them to fight? I think it's just a transfer actually. It'd be funny if he actually used them to fight. It might actually be useful to do that. But this time the position is way too strong. Protoss getting annihilated as he moves in here. He's going to pick off a couple of tanks, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised to even get that far, to be honest, against the odds which he was facing against. And he does manage to re-establish the probes of his expansion. It's no more than a token effort at this point, I don't think. He is still producing units, he is still throwing them out there, but GG from Hellerine.
Andrey makes the comeback, the 2-0 comeback, and will go on to the finals. Our first Terran to qualify through the qualifiers of the TLS. That sounded a bit redundant. My point was that we invited 1 Terran to the round of 16. So apart from him, apart from Skyline, we now have 1 other Terran. Hey!
Yep. So Skyline has company, and he has competition. I would love it if they ended up like facing off against each other really early in the next stage, and then it was just like, okay, there goes the Terran already. But
no, and then the winner of that goes on to win the whole thing.
I like the way you're thinking. I like the way you're thinking.
That's right.
Either of these guys could do that. If I had to pick, I'd probably fancy Skyline to win more than Dre. But, you know, anything could happen. And it's always good to have a variety of races going through. So, yeah, we're going to be moving on to the final any second now. We are going to have Dre versus, and I can't believe I've forgotten who else it is already. This is really bad of me.
Julia.
Julia, of course it's Julia. Sorry, Julia, if you're watching. How could I possibly forget you?
Well, it's a slightly unexpected result. I mean, a lot of people were saying, you know, maybe Pike would win this time, or like Zero. I mean, Julia is a strong Zerg, but not, I wouldn't say like the top tier of foreign Zergs. So, yeah.
I wouldn't usually have said so either, but I guess he's proving us wrong by beating everybody else. So, if you don't define that as top tier, then what do you, I suppose? So, yeah. Finally is going to be Julia versus Dre, and I guess that's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Indeed, in just a moment. Don't go anywhere, guys.